I've just picked up my latest G-Shock. This is my second G-Shock. It's the GW9400 1RE. I think it's called the Mudman or something. I'm not sure. But I did have another one, which is this one here. But I didn't really like it. The buttons were a bit awkward to use, and I gave it away to one of my friends. I've seen quite a few reviews on this one, and I did seem to like all the features, so I thought I'd pick one up. So let's have a look. So you've got all the manual. I think that's the warranty. No, here we go. That's the warranty. Yeah, that's the warranty card. Yeah, yeah. Let's have a look. I do hate the fact that they come with these really horrible boxes. I don't like them at all. Yeah. Now, they could put a bit more effort into it, considering this is, what, 130 something odd pounds. So there it is. Damn, that's an ugly looking watch. Well, it reminds me of the Transformer films. Looks like something out of that, doesn't it? And if you compare it to a Sun 2, and these two watches are very similar, but I just wanted something a little bit different. So I'm going to do a read through the manual and see what's what, but essentially they're similar. I mean, the Sun 2 just looks so much better, just more classy. This just looks like a kiddie's toy. So my first impressions are, ugh. The look of it is, yeah, I can understand what they've done. They're trying to make it like a really tough and, yeah, but yeah, I'm not impressed by the way it looks, but it's what I expected, to be honest. They're designed to look like this. But yeah, this has got a few extra features compared to the Sun 2. So this is what I'm going to be using for just like, I might be using it more for traveling, to be honest, but I'm not sure yet. The Sun 2 is a great watch, but the only downside to this is 50 meters water resistant, which is great for swimming and stuff like that, but anything else really, it's not very good. This one is, I believe, 200 meters water resistant. Sorry, it's a Rangeman, not the Mudman. Yeah, it's 200 meters water resistant. Yeah, I was looking at the Mudman and the Rangeman, but I decided to go for this one. This has got a few extra features. So what I'll do is I'll go through it, and then might wear it for a few days or week or so, and then come back and tell you what I think of it, whether or not I like it or not, and take it from there. I've had the watch now for about 5 months, and I've been wearing it on and off. So I thought it was about time I did my sort of final assessment. I haven't been wearing it constantly. It's been on and off, and my initial thoughts are still more or less the same. I still think it's an incredibly ugly looking watch. I can see what they've done. I think I said earlier that they wanted to give it like this sort of manly, beefy look, and with all these little chunky bits, and yeah, it does actually give, excuse me, I keep knocking the camera, it does give me the confidence to know that if I do knock it, it's not going to damage it in any way, and it is very well built, but I just don't like the look of it, and there's just way too much text on it. I don't understand why they put so much on. So you've got protection, G-Shock, triple sensor, forward, backwards, mode, adjust, tough solar, then you've got triple sensor again. There's just unnecessarily too much text on it, and I really don't like that. A nice, clean, clear dial would have been a lot better as well, because there's so much text. You've got select here, you've got mode on there. Why do they need to have it on the dial as well? Then you've got set, split, reset, start, stop, sensor, Casio multiband 6. It's just too much text. And another thing which I really dislike on this watch, on the screen, is this. Now, it is fairly close. It's probably about maybe 2 to 3 inches away from the camera, so you can see it very clearly, the indicators. But when it's on your wrist, and this is what it looks like on the wrist, when you're about, what, 1 foot away, 12 inches or so, you can't see that properly. All you can see is it's slightly shaded, but in terms of giving you any accurate time scale, it's rubbish. When you turn on the compass, it has like a north facing indicator, but again, unless you bring it really close to your eyes, 3 inches, maybe 2 inches, it's absolutely useless. It's just there for being there for sake. I would have rather had the actual screen a little bit bigger and that taken away, and they've put all these little bits inside. Why? It's unnecessary. That's just my point of view. That's I don't like that. I don't like the look of the watch, but in terms of functions, it's a great watch. Like I said, it gives you really confidence if I drop it, or if I'm doing anything else which is going to damage one of my other watches. Not that I do anything like that, but it does give me confidence that it's not going to break and it will take a knocking. And yeah, other than that, it's great. I do really like things. I do like these textured buttons are really nice. I do like the feel of these, and when you press them, you get a really nice feeling. You know you've pressed the button and it springs out. So it does. Let me just, there we go. You can see it. It is a nice feeling on the buttons when you press them. So I'll go into some of the functions of the watch. So on the top here where it says adjust, if you press that on the time scale, you get the barometer reading. So you see it's on the scale, so it's actually been falling for the past few hours, and it's started to go up again now. It's very, very hot here in England. We're having this sort of mini heat wave. So the temperature keeps going up and down, and I'm actually sweating sat here doing this video. You press it again, it goes back to the day, and then you've got the mode that cycles through all the different functions. So you press it once, you get to the world timer. Now I think it's 34 or 36 time zones you can set them to. So you have your local time there, and then whatever time you're looking at in the rest of the world is there. And you press again, it goes to your stopwatch. To start the stopwatch, you press this button at the bottom and stop. And you can see that again, it's running round. That's going to take you tenths of seconds, but again, the further away you go, it's useless. That's just my thing anyway. To stop, press again, reset there. I believe I think it's 99 hours. I haven't run it to the max, but it is quite a long stopwatch. It's not an hour or so. So you've also got again your local time. Press again, you go to your timer. This, you can set the timer up to 24 hours, and again you can see the indicators there, so it's 21, but if you look at it, it looks like 20, doesn't it? So again, more evidence that that scale is useless. And then press again, you go to the alarms. Now it's got 5 alarms in total, I believe, and then yeah, so you've got 5 alarms. You've got 4 normal daily alarms. So for example, this will go off at 5 o'clock, and then once 5 o'clock is gone, it'll shut off. But then you have this snooze alarm, which is really good. Until you actually physically press the button to turn it off, it will continue to keep going off every 5 minutes. So if you're one of these people who need a little bit of snooze time, or you need that sort of extra jolt to get yourself out of bed, it keeps reminding you to get up, that's quite a handy thing. I quite like that. That's a good function. And then you have the sunrise and sunset time. Now I really like this function. It's on one of my other watches, my Sun 2. This is something I use quite a lot because I need to know the times of sunsets just when I'm training and stuff, so it is quite helpful. So you've got the sunrise time at the bottom. If I can get it a little bit closer, you can just see it there. That's better. And then you have the sunset there. Now, one of the things I really do like about this is that you can scroll through plus or minus. So if you see where it's reverse, so if you press the reverse, it will go backwards. So if you wanted to know what the sunrise and sunset time was last week, it will tell you. So it's sunrise at 4:59 and then set at 19:13. And then if you can go forward, and then if you want to know what the sunrise and sunset is going to be next week, it will tell you, which is great. So you can see the sunset is becoming lower, so the days are becoming shorter here in England, and then the sunrise is 5:19. So that's a really good function. That's probably one of my best functions I like about this. Well, one of them anyway. And the other function I really do like, I'll come to it later. This is your recall. So when you use the altimeter and barometer and stuff, you can remember what your altitude was and what the temperature and all the other things are. I believe it's got 40 preset memories, so you can remember up to 40 different ones. So for me, that's not really an issue. I don't need it for climbing or anything else like that, but it's there if you wanted it. It would have been quite good to have something where you can actually plug it into a computer and save it, but it doesn't have that, but it's on your watch. Now this is the other function which I really like. This is the atomic clock receiver. So every day it updates itself, usually at night time. So it's received, received, see there it says received. So the last one was at 2:05, I think, yeah. And then just here, let me see if I can, you can just about see those little markers there. The light's not very good. That indicates that it's been updated, and then you have the date. So that's the date it was updated, and then that was the time. So that's to go through all the function through the mode, and then you got your forward and backwards through here. Now another good thing I do like about the watch is if you press the forward button when it's on the time, it automatically starts the stopwatch, which is a great function. If you need to use a stopwatch quickly, you just simply press that button and it will set the stopwatch going. Great function. I use the stopwatch a lot, so I don't need to keep scrolling through to get to my stopwatch function. I can just simply know that I can press that and it'll start the stopwatch. So that's a great function. And stop and restart there. And another good thing I like about the watch is when you scroll through, see, you've got to go through. So it's, let's say I'm at the stopwatch and I want it to go back to the time, day and time. So I'd have to, in normal watches you have to scroll through and then get to your time. But with this, if you press and hold the mode, it jumps straight back to your times, which is brilliant. I really do like that, because sometimes when you're scrolling through and you want to get back to your normal time, you can go too far and think, oh, then you've got to scroll through again and again. So you simply press that and it jumps straight back to it. That's really good. I wish a lot of other watches would have that function. Now the big button on the side here, that controls your ABC functions, your altimeter, barometer and compass. So if you press it once, it'll take you to your altimeter. So I'm now minus 93 below sea level meters. I don't know if that's true. I can't remember if I did set it when I first got the watch. I probably did. And then that's your compass. So when you rotate it around, you can see it's moving. And then again, you can see there. See if I can get it to focus in there. I don't think it's going to focus in there, but you can see it's got the north. I think that's there. It's supposed to be the north that way. But again, because it's so small, it's absolutely useless, I think, in my opinion. Complete waste of time. Shouldn't be there. And then you press again, you come to your barometer, and you can see the temperature in here. Now, I have a bit of an issue with watches with temperature gauges on them. When they're on your wrist, they're absolutely useless. They won't tell you what the temperature is because it's taking the temperature off your body. Whatever heat is coming off your body, it's going to register that. So in order to use it accurately, you've actually got to take the watch off your wrist, which for me seems to what's the purpose of that? You've got to take it off for at least 10 to 15 minutes for it to get to the normal air temperature. So if you're out trekking and you want to know what the temperature is, so you have to take it off, either lay it down for 10 minutes, so you're going to have to wait for 10 minutes. Even if you put it in your pocket, it's still going to pick up your body heat. So for me, so you see it's just jumped up a bit, and there's no way this room is 39 degrees. But then again, it could be. I'm sweating like anything. So not a big fan of temperature gauges on watches. I think they're just more of a gimmicky thing, but they're there. Again, you've got your barometer reading there for the way it's going up or down. And then you go back to your altimeter. And to go back, you just simply press that, and it goes back to your normal time and date function. And the big button here, that is for the light. Now I don't know if it'll work because it's quite, yeah, you can't see it. What I'll do is I'll do a shot of it at night, and then you can see what it's like at night time. But if you notice just there it says LT. If you press and hold it, it will turn it off. Now what that means is that when you want to turn the light on, you've actually got to press the button. But if you turn the LT back on, so if you press and hold again, what that does is when your watch is on your wrist, or if it's anywhere and you move it this way, the light will automatically come on. Now it doesn't always work. You can't see it here again because it's too light, but I'll take a video and try and show you what it's like. So it doesn't always work, and it is quite annoying sometimes, because no matter what you're doing, you could be driving, so if it's on your wrist and you just move your hand slightly, the light will come on. If you're doing anything anywhere in the house, so it's constantly going on and off, on and off. So a bit of a gimmicky function, I think. I usually leave it off, but yesterday I turned it on because I was making a video about this. I've done like a G-Shock versus Sun 2, so that'll be coming up soon as well. So I was going through the different functions, but I normally leave it off. So I don't know if anybody else would use that, but I find it a bit useless. Now, the best function I think of this watch is the rechargeable battery. Now it uses solar power to recharge, so just around the edges you can see that's the solar cell. I don't know why other manufacturers don't use the solar power to recharge the batteries. Now I've just recently bought a Breitling B50. Now that has a charge point here, so you just charge it up every few weeks or however long you're going to use it. So I've got to physically charge it. Now with this one, you just leave it. You just take it off your wrist and you put it down, and it just charges itself, and it's constantly high when it's on in daylight. So you can see the little indicators there. You've got 3 little indicators. So it says you've got the high, which is the top one where it is now, where it's got H, and then you've got medium at the bottom, and then low. Since I've had it, it's always stayed at high because there's always some sort of sunlight. Now another good function of the watches is you can turn it to power saving mode. So at night time, what it does, it turns itself off, and then you simply in the morning when I'll get up, I'll just pick it up and it will switch itself back on automatically. It sort of knows that you've picked it up, and then everything turns on. That's a really good function. But with it being solar powered, it's not something that needs to be a big issue because it's constantly going to be charging. But again, I wish Breitling did that with the B1, put solar powers charging on it, and also with the light. When you press the light, I've got a Breitling B1, which I've had for probably going on 17 years now. And when you press the light button on the B1, it drains the power so much. Literally, you'll get probably less than a year. If you used to use the light all the time, you'd get less than a year's worth of battery. And to replace the battery on a Breitling is something in the region of £50+ depending on if you know your dealer very well, who will give you a discount or not. So you're talking about £50 just to replace the battery. So I do wish they'd do a solar powered on most other watches. Now this one, apparently they'd say that on full charge it will last up to 7 years. So I don't know if that's with the battery power on power saving mode, but that's quite impressive. If you can put this down for 7 years and it'll still have power, That's in a dark room, so it's not like it's going to be constantly charging. So it's supposed to last up to 7 years on a full charge. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I very much doubt I'm going to put this down for 7 years and not wear it again. So it is a very, very chunky watch. Again, with these little ridges, it makes it even chunkier. I'm not a fan of this strap. I actually don't like this strap at all. It's got this metal keeper as well. Again, I wish they'd put it on just a rubber one. I don't understand why they needed to have a metal one. It doesn't make it look any more expensive. I don't really like the buckle here. It's very thin. I would have rather had a nice one buckle pin thick one. And it's a very uncomfortable strap. If you're wearing it all day, it can get very uncomfortable. I've worn it for an entire day and it just started digging in. It's quite hard. It's not a soft rubber. Compared to some watches, it is soft, but again, with the video of the Sun 2 one, you'll see that the Sun 2 one is a lot softer and more comfortable. I could wear the Sun 2 for days and not have an issue. This one, if I wear it for a day, I'm like sort of thankful that I can take it off. It's just awful strap. I believe if I take the screws out of here, the strap will come off and I can replace it. So I could put a different rubber strap on it. These little ridges in here, you get all the dirt, and even in the screen here, you get all the dirt in there. Now you got to clean it with a toothbrush properly to get all the dirt out. So it's not like a low maintenance watch, to be honest. If you want to keep it clean and legible, you might have to sort of wash it through every few days to get all the rubbish off. But yeah, so I'm going to have a look at maybe some nylon straps or something for it, and see if I can get something else. I have been using it while I've been training, but it's a chunky. Look at the size of it. It's huge. It's unnecessarily huge. The actual screen is just here, and then the rest of it is just, yeah, padding. Fair enough, but I think the majority of people who are going to be using this watch are not going to take it to its maximum, where you can absolutely bash the hell out of it. I know a lot of military people use this, so I can understand what they're doing if they crawl around in the mud or if they're crawling around in the desert sand and in jungles and stuff. Yeah, great, but in the urban jungle, it's a bit unnecessary. I got it because of the functions. I think the functions are great. It's going to be a great travel watch. It'll automatically update the time wherever I am in the world, which is a great function. I can take it swimming. I don't have to worry about leaving it in the hotel. If it's stolen, I'm like, yeah, so what? It's a £180 watch, doesn't matter. So it's a great watch, very chunky. You can't wear it with a suit, to be honest, so it's not like the one and only watch you'd ever need. It is really a second watch, I would say. But I would recommend it to anyone if they wanted it. But I'd say look at some other watches, such as the Sun 2 Vector or the Sun 2 Black Military, which I have. I think that's a better watch. This has got a few extra functions than that has. The other one has some other functions, which again I'll go into when I do the comparison with the two. But for me, the Sun 2 wins slightly, hands down, more than this. But again, if you watch the video coming up in a few weeks, you'll see that. But yeah, so that's my Casio G-Shock Rangeman. Great watch. Anyone wants one? Yeah, I'd say buy it if you can get past the ugliness of it. Great watch to have. Thank you for watching.